marvelous mathematicians. Let's go through this lesson. It is a supporting standard, but we should know this already. And I'm actually probably going to go pretty quickly through these examples through this lesson just because we know this. And I know we know this because I taught you last year almost this exact same thing. So 8.5H, identify examples of proportional and non-proportional, words that we already know, functions that arise from mathematical and real-world problems. So, to do this, we are going to, our learning goal is decide whether a given scenario, it should always be some sort of real-world situation, real-world problem that you get outside of school. Decide whether a given scenario is proportional or non-proportional. Based on the problem. I'm going to say based on keywords. Cool. Really the only vocab word is proportional relationship, which is a relationship between two quantities in which the ratio of one quantity to the other quantity is constant. All right, let's put some keywords on the front here. Just to make them, here, do we have any room on our notes? Not really. So yeah, let's do it on the front. So multiplicative words. And additive words. Multiplicative, you should already know. Per, every, each, rate, like per day, like or yeah, no, actually that's it. Cool. Additive words. Start, begin, fee, already, has, currently, and any versions of those words like start, starting, started, begin, began, entrance fee, admission fee, has, have, had, currently, any variations of those words. Okay, these are going to help us. Let's get into it. So the essential question is, what characteristics determine whether a graph, table, equation, or verbal representation is proportional or not? We are focusing on the verbal representation today. How can you tell whether a table is proportional or not? You already know this. 0, comma, b, meaning when x is 0, if y is something else, then you know it's non-proportional. Proportional includes the origin, which is 0, 0. Non includes 0, comma, b, the additive. Or if it's proportional, y divided by x equals the same. If it's non, if you do y divided by x, it will not equal another ordered pair y divided by x, which we're going to show you in some examples. So how would this look using the calculator stat edit? Proportional. B would be 0. Non-proportional, B would be just a different number, a different rational number. Alrighty, let's go through these problems. I'm going to go through them rather quickly just because we've done this. We know this. We can do this. So determine whether the following situations are proportional, P, or non-proportional, N. Make sure you identify any keywords, which is actually how we're going to be doing this whole thing, is by identifying keywords. So after 6 months, the total cost of Tony's gym membership was $200. After 8 months, the total cost was $260. So I've got two sets of two numbers. I have money and I have months. I am just going to do y divided by x equals y divided by x in this one. You can also do stat edit. What it would look like is put it in a table. I would have 6 to 200, 8 to 260, L1s, L2s, stat calculate, see what A equals, see what B equals, and decide if it's proportional or not proportional. But for the sake of today's lesson and the fact that I don't have a calculator on this screen, I'm going to do y divided by x equals y divided by x. So since I know my y is always money, I'm going to do 200 divided by 6 and see if that is equal to 260 divided by 8. Now, I'm going to do this by dividing. That I can do because I do have a calculator, just not on the screen. 200 divided by 6 is 33.3 repeated. And that is not equal to 260 divided by 8, which is 32.5. So since they is not equal, this is not proportional. Cool. Next problem. Rusty Rooter charges a $25 service fee. Here's that keyword fee. So I already know that B equals 25, which should tell me that it's not proportional automatically. And $40 per hour. So M equals 40. My multiplicative is 40 because of the word per. So my entire equation would be y equals 40x plus 25. Easy. Next. Kiki made $570 last week for 40 hours of work. This week, she worked 36 hours and made $513. Cool. It looks like the same setup as my first problem. I've got money in hours. So again, I can do an XY table and do 40 hours for 570 and 36 hours for 513. However, I am going to use my y equals, or y divided by x equals y divided by x. So 570 divided by 40 should equal 513 divided by 6. Sorry, 36. Oh man, that would not equal if it was just that 6. So 570 divided by 40 is 14.25. 513 divided by 36 is 14.25. Since they are equal to each other, and that checks out, I know that this is proportional. Cool. Next problem. The cost of purchasing pecans for $2.43 per pound plus a shipping fee. So since I know that I have a fee in here of $13.13 per pound. This is a trick question. I have two multiplicatives and we're talking about the same thing. So really, if it's $2.43 per pound plus 13 cents per pound, and I have per pound on both, therefore I'm talking about the same thing, what this would look like is $2.43 times pecans plus 0.13 times pecans. Those are like terms, y'all. You can just combine your like terms. So 2.43 plus 0.13 equals 2.56. And it looks like I just have a multiplicative, which means this is proportional. I don't have an additive. Even though, yes, it does say that word fee. It's a tricky. That one would trick you. I honestly don't think anything will be that hard on the star though, so I don't know if you have to worry about that. All right, moving on. The total distance traveled and number of hours traveled if John drove his car at a constant rate, there's a keyword, of 60 miles per hour for 2 hours. So he's driving at a constant rate of 60 miles per hour for 2 hours, which means he went 120 hours. And the fact that it's constant and I don't have an additive, this tells me it's proportional. So my constant, see, I'm already getting ahead of myself. 60 divided by 2 equals, nope, that's a lie. It'd be 60 times 2 because he's doing 60 miles an hour per hour. 60 miles an hour per hour. He's driven 120 miles. It's y equals 60x. That's your equation. I feel like that one was a little too easy. Next, the cost of purchasing a pair of shoes for $67 with a coupon for 10% off the total cost. So this would be $67 for a pair of shoes, right? Minus 0.1 times the cost. So I do have a multiplicative and an additive, which means this would be not proportional because I start at $67. That's how much I start at. And then I'm taking 10% off. Okay. Next, the total earnings and number of hours spent babysitting if Carrie babysat for 4 hours at a rate of $12 per hour. Okay, well, I feel like this is self-explanatory. It's $12 per hour. There is no starting amount. Carrie's just babysitting, meaning if she babysat for 0 hours, she would get $0. So this is proportional. Boom. The total fees charged and number of carpeted rooms cleaned if Quick Floors charges $40 for the first room and $25 for each additional room. Meaning 40 has to be my additive. And I see that each. So I know 25 is my multiplicative. So this would be not proportional. The total savings and number of weeks spent saving if the total savings and number of weeks spent saving if Jeremy saved $10 each week for 6 weeks and started with a balance, started with keywords, $50. Wow, beautiful. So I know I have my multiplicative and my additive, which means this is not proportional. Okay, guys, last one. We can do this. The amount an employee who makes $7.75 per hour earns in X weeks. Well, guys, this is easy. It has to be proportional. There's no additive in there. There's really no other number in there. But it says per, so I know it's multiplicative. And that's it. I feel like the only really tricky one would be that double per one, the pecans, the fourth one. But every other one, y'all know this. We did this in 7th grade. We did it in 8th grade already. And we're doing it in 8th grade again. I feel like it should be simple. And if it isn't, maybe find some more keywords. Here, let's put a balance on here because that is another one. All right, cool. I'm going to call it done. Y'all are amazing.